Champions League Red Star Belgrade vs Stuttgart prediction, team news, lineups preview. Both sitting outside the Champions League playoff places, midway through the new league phase. Red Star Belgrade and Stuttgart will vie for victory at the Maracana on Wednesday. While the hosts' quest for a first point continues, Stuttgart are aiming to get their campaign back on track following a home loss last time out. Match preview. One of 5 clubs yet to pick up a point in this season's Champions League, Red Star have already lost twice in Belgrade to Benfica and Barcelona while suffering 4-goal defeats away to Inter Milan and Monaco. Earlier this month, the Serbian champions were heading towards half-time all square with Barca, but Robert Lewandowski scored the first goal of a brace on 43 minutes, and they ultimately went down 5-2 to their Catalan counterparts. A record of 16 goals conceded is the worst of any team this term, and with a goal difference of -12, it is evident that Crvena Zvezda have struggled to cope with Europe's elite since coming through qualifying. 2 losses have dented a proud record on home turf, which still stands at just 6 defeats from their last 23 continental contests at the Maracana, but Red Star remain untouchable on the domestic front. The 1991 European champions claimed their 7th successive league title last term, and they have since won 13 of 14 league games in the current campaign, scoring 44 goals and conceding only 8. In his second spell at the club, head coach Vladan Milojevic has helped his side stay undefeated throughout their last 36 domestic matches, of which they have won 33, but translating that form onto the main stage has proved beyond them thus far. Stuttgart were last crowned German champions back in 2007, but they will head into their first ever game against Red Star, having recently re-established themselves among the Bundesliga's elite. Taking part in UEFA competition for the first time in 11 years, an ambitious squad led by much-admired coach Sebastian Hoeneß snatched second place from under the noses of mighty Bayern Munich last season. And they are now challenging for another top 4 finish. However, the Swabians sit just outside the Champions League's playoff places going into the second half of their comeback campaign. After losing their last fixture 2-0 at home to Atlanta BC. With 4 points on the board owing to a 1-1 draw against Sparta Prague and a dramatic 1-0 victory over Juventus, Stuttgart have scored just 3 goals so far, including one in an opening day defeat to Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. After beating Juve in Turin, they will now aim to record consecutive away wins for the very first time in either the European Cup or Champions League, before wrapping the league phase up with games against Young Boys, Slovan Bratislava, and Paris Saint-Germain. Saturday's 2-0 win at home to Bochum leaves Die Roten just adrift of the European places in a tightly packed Bundesliga table. But to extend this year's Champions League adventure, they may need to collect at least 6 more points. Team news. Red Star coach Vladan Milojevic has recently welcomed injured trio Ognjen Mamovic, Bruno Duarte and Mirko Ivanic back to training, but it remains to be seen whether they will be ready by Wednesday, as Saturday's league game against Jedinstvo was postponed due to heavy snowfall. The hosts should be well rested following the international break, though Peter Olayinka is expected to miss out due to an Achilles problem. Senegalese striker Cherif Ndiaye, leading scorer in the league with 9 goals, spearheads the hosts' attack, while winger Felicio Milson has found the net in both of his Champions League appearances this term. Those goals came as a substitute, as Stuttgart-owned Silas has generally been preferred. The DR Congo forward was voted Bundesliga Rookie of the Season in 2020-21 after scoring 11 goals in 25 games, but he is now out on loan in Belgrade. Meanwhile, the visitors have several absences to contend with, most notably up front. The match winner against Juventus, El Belatedly, returned from international duty with a broken foot and has undergone surgery, while top scorer Deniz Undav will be out of action until 2025 with a hamstring injury. Ermedin Demirovic has 6 goals this season and recently scored for Bosnia-Herzegovina in the UEFA Nations League, so he should deputize for the latter. French playmaker Enzo Milo, who has created more chances from open play 9 and completed more dribbles 8 than any of his teammates in this Champions League campaign, is set to support him. Jamie Luling hamstring, Luca Raymond muscular and Dan Axel Zagadou knee are still sidelined, but Leonidas Sturgiu made his first appearance of the season on Saturday, having finally recovered from a back injury. Red Star Belgrade possible starting lineup: M. Ilic, Youngwoo, Spajic, Giga, Rodic, Krunic, Elsnik, Silas, Maximovic, L. Ilic. Ndia. Stuttgart possible starting lineup: Nubel, Sturgiu, Rouault, Chabot, Mittelstadt, Karazor, Stiller, Reeder, Milo, Furic, Demirovic. We say, Red Star Belgrade 1-1 Stuttgart. Neither side has scored many goals so far, averaging under 1 per game between them, so a tense, close-fought encounter could be on the cards. Red Star have shown flashes of promise and should belatedly pick up their first point. But Stuttgart will surely breach their hosts' leaky back line at least once. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.